Dallas after being pulled into a whirlwind of allegations and charges over his purported involvement in high-profile incidents involving some of the largest personalities in the entertainment business. Bishop T.D. Jakes is speaking out. He is speaking up about his relationships with music mogul Diddy and the circulating claims of sexual abuse and manipulation after months of rumors and conjecture. Bishop Jakes, the well-known pastor of Dallas's The Potter's House, has been charged with aiding Diddy's purported behavior by enhancing his public persona and even attending the contentious gatherings where claimed sexual assault and human trafficking took place. One of the most powerful religious leaders in the U.S., Bishop Jakes, is at the center of a legal and media storm that has drawn criticism from both religious and entertainment communities. When he was identified in a lawsuit brought by Dwayne Youngblood, a former pastor, who claimed that Jakes attempted to sexually assault him when he was only 18, the issue around him first heated up. According to the lawsuit, Jakes made unwanted approaches against Youngblood and even tried to assault him during a church session. The scenario became much more concerning when Youngblood claimed to have phone records and witnesses to support his claims. This case made it possible for Jakes to be the target of more charges, which in turn led to more serious claims against Diddy. A significant turning point in this continuing story is Youngblood's slander lawsuit against Bishop Jakes. After a meeting, Jakes allegedly sought to push himself on Youngblood, who detailed the terrifying event in his affidavit. He described how Jakes reportedly made him feel helpless and embarrassed by embracing him and attempting to kiss him. Jakes has maintained his denial of any misconduct in spite of the accusations, but Youngblood's charges are by no means the only ones made against him. The claims against Bishop Jakes grew to include his ties to Diddy, better known as Sean Diddy Combs, as the legal dispute between Jakes and Youngblood progressed. Music tycoon Combs, who has long been renowned for throwing lavish parties, has had his share of legal issues. Former music producer Rodney Jones made one of Diddy's most well-known claims, accusing him of engaging in drug-related and sex trafficking operations. Jones claimed that Diddy had manipulated people with his wealth and power, and that Bishop Jakes helped Diddy keep up a good public image by providing spiritual cover. Bishop Jakes' name started to come up in relation to Diddy's notorious parties at this time of heightened legal and media scrutiny. The lines between riches, power, and vice were blurred at these events, where Jakes was spotted, according to a number of witnesses, including comedian and actor Cat Williams. Often characterized as wild, all-white gatherings, these parties were infamous for their excess, including drug use, alcohol consumption, and immorality. Jakes' attendance at these gatherings sparked inquiries about his possible role in the purportedly private activities. When it was discovered that Jakes might have been spotted in compromising circumstances at Diddy's estate, the accusations against him took a more sinister turn. The key to comprehending the full scope of Jakes' involvement may lie in these tapes, which were purportedly gathered during searches at Diddy's mansions in Miami and Los Angeles. Sources claim that during the raid, the FBI confiscated a number of items, including gadgets and cell phones. These objects have been a major source of worry, coupled with the tapes that purport to show Jakes and other people at Diddy's parties. Jakes might face severe consequences as the tapes move through the court system. The notion that Diddy might have used these records to control powerful people like Jakes is among the most unsettling aspects of the continuing investigations. Diddy allegedly invited influential people to his parties, filmed them in vulnerable poses, and then used the video to blackmail them. According to this idea, Jakes may have been the victim of a complex network of compulsion and manipulation, with Diddy utilizing the video to maintain Jakes' compliance and silence. A number of victims and legal professionals have come forward to share their stories amid these accusations. According to a lawyer who has represented clients in a number of well-known instances involving sexual abuse, the victims' accounts were strikingly similar. He underlined that power, not desire, is the driving force behind sexual abuse. He claimed that the people who made the accusations against Diddy Jakes and others were obviously victims of a power dynamic where their personal boundaries were crossed in order to gain dominance and control. The horrific stories of what allegedly happened during Diddy's parties have also been revealed by a number of other victims. One victim, who was Diddy's assistant, told how he was tricked into going to a party with the intention of meeting the music tycoon. He said that after arriving, he was sexually abused, drugged, and rendered comatose. Like other victims, this one made the point that Diddy and others were using their power over them, not sexual attraction. These victims felt helpless and exploited as a result of the abuse, and the trauma they experienced permanently changed their lives. Another victim discussed how Diddy reportedly enhanced his reputation by using his connections with powerful religious leaders, such as Bishop Jakes. According to this victim, Diddy believed that his ties to the church would help him repair his public image. According to the victim, Diddy was deliberately utilizing Jakes and other pastors as part of his public relations plan, portraying himself as someone who was looking for atonement while disguising his actual behavior under the pretense of Christian devotion. If the accusations against Bishop Jakes turn out to be accurate, his involvement in these problems might have a disastrous effect on his congregation and career. Any association with Diddy's gloomy world of excess and abuse would undermine the faith that his followers have placed in him, as he is a pastor who has built his empire on his public persona as a man of faith and moral purity. Many of his followers have voiced their incredulity, with some publicly wondering how a godly guy could be friends with someone like Diddy, whose purported behavior contradicts church doctrine. Bishop Jakes has mostly kept quiet about the specifics of his participation in Diddy's parties and the ensuing legal disputes, in spite of the growing pressure. According to many close to him, he is extremely worried about the possible consequences of these accusations. Some even say that the pressure of the situation almost made him pass out on stage. According to reports, the strain is having a serious negative impact on his health as he deals with escalating legal issues and a developing PR disaster. But one thing is certain: Bishop Jakes is still in the middle of a storm. More information will eventually surface because of the numerous lawsuits and investigations that are circling him. If made public, the audio found during the FBI raids might represent the turning point in the story, revealing the real reason for Jakes' relationship with Diddy. The circumstance also calls into question the place of religious leaders in the entertainment sector. People like Bishop Jakes have been attracted into the world of wealth, power, and influence as the distinction between faith and celebrity continues to blur. The involvement of pastors and other religious leaders in these scandals implies that the moral borders that many people once took for granted are no longer distinct, despite the church's long-standing reputation as a haven. Even for individuals tasked with leading others on the straight and narrow, the world of celebrity, with its excesses and temptations, can frequently prove to be a corrupting influence. The truth of Bishop Jakes' role in these crises will probably remain under close examination as the cases progress and new information becomes available. Is Bishop Jakes a man who got caught up in a web of power and control, a victim of deception, or a partner in Diddy's alleged abuse? One thing is certain: this issue is far from done, and everyone will be keenly watching to see how it all plays out. Only time will tell.